What's up, guys? It is Davey the Killer here. Sorry about all the rustling, but I need to get my notes in order. It is a pleasure to see you as well, lady. Now, there's some things I forgot to mention in the last video. In the character creation screen, when you go over the Great Swamp Race, it mentions that they are prejudiced. That they are a victim of prejudice, looked down upon because of their atypical looks. Which, if you look at the face of the stock Great Swamp, he's ugly. Now, I'm looking at some damage here, trying to figure out which talisman I want to use. But I went ahead and leveled up the Pyro Glove to +10 to maximize my damage. I've done a lot of grinding. Like, each time you're seeing my character, it's at like different iterations of where it's at. Of where it's gonna be at, anyhow. Now, rocking a very common setup that I see all the time. Except I'm not using stupid, what's it called? Thief set. With like just heavy gloves. See people do that all the time. Now heading into the depths, which is a very well designed place, but because it's optional, you rarely have to do it. And you see here, they do a couple of times where they have enemies up and then one kind of off behind that you couldn't see with camera, just looking in. Like here, for instance, there's torch hollows ahead, and I do a bad job of showing how it's supposed to work. But you come up to the stairs, you see those torch hollows, and you're like, oh, I'm fucking them up. And you go to try to fuck them up, and then dude behind the stairs there comes up and scratches your back a little bit. And oh man, right there. That attack that they're doing with the torch kind of flailing at you like that, that's the worst thing ever. You get a few of them doing that, and then you're just stun locked to shit. If you notice, that dog's not there anymore. He's gone. He was a one-time spawn enemy. I think the only one-time spawn dog, and god, that meat is gross looking. Ugh. Now, if you remember, I grabbed the large ember from there, and there's a little drop. And with that large ember, I believe I've leveled up the claymore a little more. This dog's easy. You can get a plunge attack on him all day. God, these dogs are terrible. They move so quick. You know, compare them to the dogs in Dark Souls 2, and the dogs in Dark Souls 2 are friggin' chihuahuas. And those are cheetahs. That's a bad comparison. One's a dog, the other's a very large cat. Very large, very quick cat. And I took care of the butchers in the previous video, if you guys are wondering where those guys have been. And right here's a little trap, but I'm too cunning to get up. Or too cunning? Not too cunning, I've played this game before. I'd be lying if I said that didn't get me. The first time around. I mean, that's your introduction to that type of enemy, too. Which is kind of nice from a gameplay perspective. Like, oh, here's one, it's gonna fuck you up. And then you know that they're on the ceilings, and you see me looking there at the ceilings. Oh man, I can't wait to get back to LiveCom. And here they come. Now I show off their defenses here. You see right there, they've got really good physical defense. So let's try some lightning. That was pretty good damage. And just in case you guys forgot from the previous one, fire rules. It's really OP. with these guys, but I imagine that's how it's just supposed to be. Boom! Fire. All day. Torch Hollows are worse than Hitler. We can't open this door yet. We need a key. You can see through there. I'm not doing a very good job of working the camera. There we go. A big old rat. And not going down there. Gonna go this way first. 'Cause I forgot. That's the sewer chamber key is this way. And I'm an idiot about these rats. Oh, I just noticed. That one I framed through my attack. That is ridiculous. It dodged back and... wow. I did not know the rats had iframes. That's new. We pick up a Great Axe there. It's a strength weapon. I think the requirement is like 50 strength or something like that. And that rat there. That little baby rat. To my knowledge, you can't kill him. But I've read that he'll race towards the end of the level, kind of being like a guide, like, hey, go this way. And I think there's a couple of them on the map. But the problem with that is they're fucking quick. They're just gone before you even know it. And I want to go ahead and point out right now that I do not do this place 100%. That's there's some items I don't grab because I don't need them for this character, and it's hard to like stop yourself from playing the game the way you normally play it. Now this key leads us to the bonfire room, which is pretty nice. A quick little thing here is I kind of wonder and speculate as to why there's even a bonfire here. There's no firekeeper, so who's keeping that one going? Now these slimes are an excellent source of a couple of upgrade materials, one of which being the large Titanite shards, and the other being green Titanite shards, which will allow you to upgrade up the divine path. Let's see, looking at my notes here. Oh, I got a large Titanite shard and a green shard. So that's a good little demonstration there. Thank you, game, for playing into my playthrough perfectly. And I run all the way back. Oh, there's a reason for it. We're going back now to go through that little drop, and I'm apparently confused as to where I'm at. It's kind of hard to watch myself play. Like, I want to just be given the commentary as I'm playing it. And he didn't drop me any goodies because he's a dick. Another quick question to the community. Why is the only form of underwear a thong? That's something I thought about. These fucking dogs. These goddamn dags. Quick fuckers. Just dodge everything. And he jumped right back in front. That was nice. And now we're up above the rat. And you can look there. There's a bunch of flat skeletons. There's Goody over there. I had meant to grab it on my first run through here. and I don't know what came over me. Like, I remember looking at it and being like, oh, I need to grab the spider shield. And then I came over and was like, wow, just killed him. And I fucked up the jump attack. I fucked it up hard. Luckily, though, this rat is not bad at all. As you see, fire does pretty well against them. So if you end up fucking up the way I did and end up having to fight him one-on-one, pyro is a good way to go about it. I mean, he choreographs his attacks very much so. I mean, he's essentially just a giant version of the regular rat sprite. And he drops humanity. If you notice that the rats do drop humanity quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but they drop it enough. And the reason why they have humanity is because they eat people. That's pretty basic, right? I mean, that's you know, makes sense. Now, the rats are okay to farm, but there's a way better drop rate from the baby skeletons in the catacombs. And you can get there pretty early in the game, so there's really... I mean, if you're having issues staying human, or you're trying to farm humanity so you can save Solaire later, then go to the catacombs. And he dropped me something, and I didn't pick it up, and I know some of you who see this are probably going to freak out, like, what are you doing with your life? And I don't know. But, I end up picking it up, so don't worry about that. Now look at this stupid rat AI. Ugh, I'm stuck. Doesn't know how to work the corner of a stair. There's some ambushes up here. Or is it here? No, it's not here. It's later. But you get kind of crazy about those boxes. And Mr. Basilisk noticed me. Now, an interesting design thing about them, I'm probably not going to be able to get a good look, but those big things on their head, those are not their eyes. They have eyes below that. And we'll talk about those basilisks much later, but right now let's just watch me parry and then set them on fire. Yeah. Something to note is when Kirk was rolling into me, I was taking damage. The reason why is because of his armor set. The armor of thorns, or Kirk's thorn armor, I can't remember what it's called. But it's pretty decent. His straight sword can bleed you. There's not a parry animation for his shield, so his armor set's okay. I usually end up rocking something from it on a build just so I can have that roll damage. That's funny to me. Something I didn't mention that I'm going to mention now, that giant rat. I'm looking at my notes. Jump attack should be enough to one-shot him at this point in the game. I tapped on the desk and it came through in the audio wave. My bad. So yeah, you can have a pretty good farm route here for getting large shards. And we meet Domhnall.
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
Now that greeting he gave us, the Silmai, however you say it, it's a Welsh, and it's derived from the South Walian words Sud, which means how, and May, which means it is. So he's pretty much saying how it is. It's an informal greeting.
Well, I'm certain we will make a good trade of it. So I'm willing to share some tips. If you seek Kingpin in the catacombs, use divine weapons. That will repel the reassembling skeletons.
So that is a hell of a tip. Thank you, Domhnall. Now, his helmet is based on Henry VIII's horned helmet. If you Google it, you'll see it, and you'll be like, holy shit, that does kind of look like it. Now, there's no real info on Xena, except that Lucy Lawless played her. But he does give us a very good tip there about the divine weapons. And just looking at all those wheels laying around just makes me anxious about going to the catacombs, which I believe is the very next thing that I'm going to be recording live commentary. So I think there's one more of this of me going into Blighttown. So Blighttown is also a post-com, which sucks. But what can you do? Be patient, wait for my nephew to not be here. I would miss. See how fast your poison builds up? That's because resistance is a broken stat. Triple kill. And I think I grabbed some stuff here, but like I said, I don't 100% this. I don't recall getting the Ring of the Evil Eye. And actually, I think what I do here, yeah, this is pretty slick. This is where you want to go. Because there's a guy up here who's going to make the boss fight pretty rough. It's that Channeler. And I kill him and almost die. And I say, fuck these rats. Right after that hit, probably, I literally said, fuck these rats, and then just ran away. I was like, I'm just gonna fight the boss. Give me my humanity, and I'm out of here. I'm just working my way back at this point. But then I remembered something. Like, oh, I'm going to rest the boss. No, I'm just going to fight the boss. No, wait, I forgot something. And what I forgot was to come up here, jump back down there, and grab that shield. I can't even use the excuse of this one being early morning anymore because I did it all in one day. So let's figure about half hour each. So I've been playing for at least an hour at this point. And oh, no longer because I did grinding. So probably a few hours. And then I stopped playing for the night and picked it up just for Blighttown. Now this over here pisses me off. You should be able to fit through there. I mean, there's nothing over there, but I just want to be able to fit through there. And you can kind of get a glimpse of a goodie in the boss arena down in there. I thought there was something up here, but I was wrong. I was probably thinking of the little platform with the channeler. I think there's a large Titanite shard up there. I'm confused about it, apparently. Dumbass. And there's Solaire, there's a Lautrec, there's a goodie. Something you probably won't use. Though I will go ahead and plug one of Afro's newer videos. He does a how to do a Bloodborne build on Dark Souls 1. And it's pretty interesting. It's one of the only times I've seen crossbows being used. I'm moving stuff around there because I don't need fire. I need lightning. Now, I could have ran in there and the dragon would not have gotten the buff from Solaire. The increase in his HP. But even without the increase of his HP, I think he's the first boss you encounter with a sizable amount. It's such a cool cutscene. Such a cool cutscene. Ah, man. There's something wrong with your hoo-ha, lady. Now, every time I play this game and I end up actually coming down and doing the Gaping Dragon, which isn't often anymore, it just kind of reminds me of the first time I played through. So, I mean, it's such a, like, what the fuck am I looking at here? Such good music, too. Now, he has a tail cut, if you couldn't tell. That's what I'm doing here. And it's not going too hot, from the looks of it. Not getting enough damage in, and he keeps out-positioning me. There we go. Now, like all dragon weapons, it has a special R2. I'm going to be trying to get all the tail cut weapons, but we'll see. I'm not going to, like, quit and reload just so that I can do that bullshit. It's not too important to me. Me and Solaire just hanging back, throwing our lightning. Lightning bolt. And things start to go pretty south for my phantoms. They're not doing too hot. But I want to use the rest of these lightning spears. Like, I had a game plan going in. I don't usually do the whole casting thing, but I figured since I got him, I might as well use him. And he is a dragon, so I ought to get the extra damage. Well, not extra damage. He ought to just have shittier lightning defense. Oh, he tried to swing his tail at us. That's cute. And that bile that was coming out, I'm assuming it's bile. It's corrosive. That's the word I was looking for. But it'll fuck up your stuff. And praise it. We get the Blighttown key. Twin humanities, so that must mean that the Gaping Dragon is pregnant. We come over here and we grab the base warrior set. Standard helm, hard leather, blah blah, bullshit. It's okay weapon, it's okay armor for what it is, but it's not spectacular. You can wear pieces of it and still get a quick roll and have alright defense. But no poise. Now look at those textures just wrapping. I guess it's supposed to be broken, but they probably just pasted it over. We're going to head back and start running back. I'm going to level up first, and I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on this build. So I want the attunement because I'm going to be using Pyromancy and probably Sunlight Blade. Be my guess. I can't remember what the stats are on a Dark Moon Blade or whatever it's called. The fancy looking one. And it takes me... I'm fucking around with my rolling nonsense. But something I wanted to say about the spider shield forever ago that I picked up. I will be using it in the next area. Now the reason why I am is because it blocks 100% of poison or toxic. Now it's not stat based, so it doesn't like raise your poison resistance up or anything like that. It's a special effect. I'll demonstrate that better, but I just wanted to point out why I was grabbing it. I suggest you do that too, considering the next place thematically is a poison. It's a swamp. It's a poison swamp. And like I said before, I suggest killing these guys every time you come through, just because they can drop you some good stuff. However, that's not going to work for me here. Actually, I just noticed this. The design of those hallways is very, very reminiscent of the Undead Asylum. You didn't go close enough, asshole. Seriously, the thong thing. The thong thing is really bothering me. Not everybody wants to see a booty. Now we're going to be running back to Firelink, and once again, I just want to apologize for not doing this place 100%. I kind of wish I did, in hindsight. And what happened there? Somebody needs to talk to the devs at FromSoft and talk to them about something called trajectory. And right there, that kind of showcases why I like the Claymore so much. It's that reach with that R2, the thrust. So you kind of step forward with it. I mean, they can still backstep out of it. And look at that fool just running across tables. What would your mother say? From those nasty hollow feet on the table. That's where people eat. And back to some miracles. That guy was too slow. But that's pretty much how we're going to be doing the depths. Now, if you want the Ring of Evil Eye, or I think there might be a Cursebite ring or something down there, you can go down and look for it. The depths is kind of set up with all the tight corners and stuff. Like, it's really well designed, and it's meant to be confusing. And it is, to me. I mean, everything just kind of looks the same. You're just wrapping around these corners and these tight hallways, and then there's these pitfalls that some of them are death, and some of them will drop you into a bunch of basilisks just waiting to curse your ass. Well, if you couldn't tell, I'm running back to Firelink. There's some dialogue that we need to get, but I'm going to go ahead and apologize because there's some that I miss. So I need to plan these things out a little better. But I don't. Oh man. My stomach just growled and I think it came through in the waveform. You don't need to kill these guys. I just like to. I have fun with it. Especially with this dude. Oh, man, that was sick. We're not talking to Tiny Hat there. We don't like Tiny Hat. We're not talking to Crestbro because he's just boring and sad. Oh, just you.
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life. Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so.
The only reason you're to blame is because of your omission of help. Omission, not admission.
Hello. I'm considering a change of location. I have a rather pressing matter to attend to up above. That keeper has served me well, but enough with her.
Alright, so I guess I did things wrong. But apparently once you exhaust his dialogue and you exhaust Petrus's dialogue and you pay for the hint about the undead mission, then Lautrec will be like, hey, yo, give me some money and I'll tell you some intelligence about good old haircut up there. And he tells us that he tells us that that Petrus told him that the cleric is down in the catacombs all by herself now. And he says something about a nubile cleric would be replete with humanity, yada yada yada. Sketchy Lautrec stuff. However, after you get that dialogue, you go back and talk to Haircut. What's his name? Petrus. You go back and talk to him, and he says, I quote, he pretty much mentions, like, oh, okay, you've spoken to Lautrec. And then he says, I quote, splendid. In the depths of the catacombs, Milady slipped off the giant's coffin and into a hole. Her two companions are no longer human, and the last weeps in solitude. Right now, you could do as you please with her. The poor little purebred is entirely helpless. Then a creepy laugh. So he's not all he seems to be. It gets even worse. But we're done for today. And we'll continue on with all these discussions and stuff later. Y'all take it easy. Fucking creepy ass Petrus.